goal is not the victory of might, but the vindication of right. Not peace at the expense of freedom, but both peace and freedom here in this hemisphere, and we hope around the world.
I have a dream.
Well, that's where we start when I go into politics.
Continue to be held as hostages in an attempt to force unacceptable demands on our country.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
It is increasing inequality and deep divisions among our own people.
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack.
Congress has failed to pass federal hate crimes legislation that protects LGBT Americans from senseless violence.
So let us summon a new spirit of patriotism, of responsibility, where each of us resolves to pitch in and work harder and look after not only ourselves but each other.
Broadcasting live from the MSC Radio Network in the city built on steel, rock and roll, and is the fictitious home of Betty White. This is Joust It Out. I'm your host, G. With me is the lovely, in yellow, Judith Pindell.
Hey, hey, hey.
And our special guest host this evening, which is our new thing we're going to be starting, is Brenna MC.
Hello. I am so excited.
I feel so dulcet.
And the first time we've had Brenna on, today, of course, is August 29th, 2012. And Brenda was on our show for... Brenda, am I saying
Did you say Brenda?
I said Brenna.
There's no D.
Brenna MC.
That's right.
BRENNA. I know.
Okay.
There it
MC.
is.
With capital MC.
That's true.
Capital MC.
Right.
No, but you know...
She was on the Pride Show.
I was on the Pride Show. That's true.
Yeah.
So all of our guests will remember Brenna from the Pride Show.
That's
Amazing.
right.
And we couldn't get enough, so we
From
had
the
to bring
center
her
of your hearts.
Yeah. And Brenna, we'll talk about this a little later, but you know, you have a group of comedians that you hang with and you perform in the community.
Yes.
And you're savvy in many things.
our very own in-house feminist comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited.
Oh, you're blowing up my head. It's so big. It's
and
not
you know,
gonna fit.
And you know what the best part of this is that Brenna and I actually ran into each other.
We did. This is true.
Of all places, at the freaking Renaissance Fair.
Amen,
What?
sister.
Judith was doing research on jousting and jousted out, so
Yeah.
she was there.
I had a big giant turkey leg. It was
awesome.
It was.
It was Roman weekend, and I had on my best goddess
You
wear.
were, yes.
Oh, you were a
gorgeous.
goddess.
Of course. It was like
I'm a
Romans
goddess
versus.
every day, but I can't always dress like one.
I was a barbarian.
It was
I
awesome.
don't know. It was.
With that leg of meat. I'm sure it was.
Oh, it's awesome.
Turkey leg, mead.
Did you have a turkey leg while you were there?
I did not. I did have some delicious fried goodness. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. Is they have this thing out there called a Scotch egg, which is a hard-boiled egg wrapped in sausage, breaded and deep fried.
How do they wrap a hard-boiled egg in sausage?
Oh, they do.
I don't know how they do it, but they could do it again because it's delicious and terrible and also delicious.
And apparently it's Scottish.
Apparently, but oh man,
From that era, maybe?
I have well, they didn't have a deep fryer and you know, and
I don't know.
13th century. I know,
You
right?
never know. You never know.
Tempura.
Yeah, tempura shrimp.
Boiled
What?
They had fat. They boiled the fat. They threw it in there.
There you go. It's a cauldron full of. You know.
I did see that. I am so glad to know that you got that, though.
Yeah. What's even
incredible.
funnier is I used to work there.
No.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course you did.
Of course I did.
Do one of your best Renaissance Fair greetings.
Oh gosh.
Do you remember? Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, it's cool. I just have to. It takes me a moment to get into character. Oh, good din to thee. Like, oh, I was so terrible. I was there for, I worked there backstage. So,
okay.
I got to run around with,
the chorus.
I wish.
Up to here.
I wish, man. You'd think that.
Oh,
but no,
yeah.
I ran around with a 5-gallon bucket full of stage blood and daggers and all sorts of explosives, miniature cannon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds just as fun.
Oh, yeah, it was great. That was my first job after college.
Wow.
After college.
Yeah. A degree in theater, you too can get this job.
Times are tough out there. the real struggle. Times are tough.
Yes, and getting to that,
Yes.
at the GOP convention, they think they're handling that kind of stuff.
$50,000 later, and she's carrying a bucket of blood.
That's right. $100,000. I went to private school. Woo-wee.
Before we go any further, though, it is our thoughts and prayers are going down in the Gulf with the folks who are dealing with Isaac, and Isaac came in late last evening and certainly into the early morning hours and is really hitting New Orleans and all of Louisiana.
Yeah, it got downgraded though.
It did, I know, but it really
is it tropical storm or a tropical depression?
A tropical storm
right now.
Okay,
yeah. But the thing is, what they were saying, it was a 1. They were concerned it was a 2. But the problem is, unlike Katrina that kind of blew through, this is just hanging out and it's just dumping water, and
that's what they
bad.
were saying on the news just before we left. That it's really not so much the rain. But it's just the constant wind that is just beating against people's houses. So it's the wind that's hanging around, and not so much even the flooding. Although obviously the flooding is a big issue.
Flooding, it's interesting because of course we always think of New Orleans and we're thinking maybe Mississippi, but Florida and how it hangs out over there. There's whole areas that are dealing with the effects. Meanwhile, Florida's kind of pretending the hurricane's not impacting the state of Florida.
Well, you got to remember that all the prayers to God coming from the RNC have protected them, kind of put a bubble over them so that it just blows over onto the heathens in Louisiana.
Right, yeah, especially in the French Quarter. It just hangs out there.
Yeah.
Well,
God answers prayers.
Of course, there is flooding in Florida. I want to show this little evidence of it. It's not as extreme video,
but
it's
not dramatic, but I think
it is, though. They sent their kids to school in Florida.
Yeah.
So look at this. They're driving through water, like a couple feet of water.
Yeah. School bus. They're like, oh no, everybody must go to school in a hurricane, everyone.
Very important.
We're
have
gonna
to
drive
pretend
through the stream, through the river.
Hurricane didn't hit Florida. We're good here.
I mean, and you could see all the water coming up through the doors of the school bus. And the poor school bus driver's like, do, just gotta drive, get the kids home.
Remember to wear your boots, kids.
Right. Get your rain slickers on. Look at that.
One thing we've learned about Florida, they like to deny things,
I guess.
It's not really happening.
They like to deny that votes were cast.
Didn't Florida originate the hanging Chad?
They did. I was just going to say, they like to deny the fact that Al Gore really won the presidency.
But isn't that terrible? I mean, I really feel bad for those kids. I mean, how horrifying, how scary. And then, so you're at school and they're like, okay, kids, we're going to let you out 10 minutes early, and then
suit up. Oh.
Yeah, get your life jacket. And then you get home and then you're like, holy crap, what happened to my bedroom? Hurricane Isaac ate my homework.
Meanwhile, the rest of the
convention is going on. Don't worry.
Delegates are all there. They're having a good old time. I was watching early coverage before everything started yesterday. And
swimming to the podium.
No, they weren't swimming. No. They were doing bad dancing that looks like swimming with no water. I mean, Republicans shouldn't dance. There's something about them dancing on that floor, and it's just a bad look.
But you have to know, no matter how much weather happened, nobody's hair moved.
Right. Oh, that's true.
No, there was no hair movement whatsoever. Right. Behold the power of Aquanet.
So I don't know, Chris, if you can switch over to the monitor again.
Yeah.
So I thought this was really interesting.
Yeah, that's great.
So this is what greeted the conventioners.
Dancing vaginas.
And it's really hard. It's not the best photo, but you can see that they're dressed in vaginas to greet the Republican conventioners. It's a feminist group called Code Pink, and I think most of you would remember them from the early 2000s. I think they had been around since the 90s. Mm-hmm. I want to say, don't quote me on that, but they're just an incredible group. You see them everywhere.
Right, they pop up in the Capitol.
And they're holding up signs like, read my lips.
Awesome.
I love it. So
they have a lot of pink wear and wigs and all kinds of stuff. that
Yeah,
they get hauled out of the Capitol a lot.
Yeah. So they're just an amazing group, and so they were right there to welcome the conventioners. So
I was making calls earlier today. I was trying to get some controversy with how many Republicans and delegates were actually showing up at gay bars and gay strip bars. But one thing I did find out today was that in Tampa, a lot of the gay bar folk that I called, you call places like Alaska, and they're like, "I'll go on."
Right. They're like, "Hey."
They're very defensive, and
secretive gay bar.
No, they were open, big gay bars, but I think maybe some of them were Republicans and probably offended that I called.
Oh, like
and
some
Florida
of the
would
bar
have
owners, the gay bar owners, were Republicans.
Like log cabin Republicans that are like, we're not going to give you a bad piece about Tampa gay bars.
We weren't asking for a bad piece. No. We just really honestly wanted to know if they saw an upsurge in their business from the...
Well, I mean, anything comes to town, you would think that there's an upsurge in service industry,
Yeah.
And of course, entertainment. They're all there to have a good time.
Enjoying yourself.
Enjoy their evenings.
So I don't know what was wrong with them.
I got a story. I'll pull it for you.
Oh, geez. I always have great concern when Chris pulls a story. It can always be a bad thing.
I got a story for you.
But I do, So talking about women, last night there was their big night of we built it. So we built it.
God.
And they threw in this weird mask of we built it and there is no war on women. And we're going to talk about women and my mother and my grandmother. And
oh my God, right. Like the first 20 minutes of Chris Christie's speech was about his mother. Ann Romney, mother this, mother that, mother.
Rick Santorum's mother in the audience.
Oh, everybody. Yeah, everyone's mother. Swear to God, it was
your mother.
Every GOP and their mother was there, but it was just really because none of it. I mean, this whole trying to speak to women obviously didn't speak to me. But yeah, here's a little highlight.
Yeah, let's play Ann. We're gonna play Ann's little clip. Just
I don't think you can start.
Again, no hair movement.
I want to talk to you tonight. Not about politics, and not about
this isn't about politics. It's a convention.
And while there are many important issues we'll hear discussed in this convention and throughout this campaign,
which is why we're all here
tonight,
but not politics,
I want to talk to you from my heart, about our hearts.
We love you. You're so pretty. Oh my God.
I want to talk not about what divides us, but what holds us together as an American family.
Wait till they go back to the wide shot.
I want to talk to you tonight about
love
that
the
one
photo
great thing
collage
that
in the
unites
background.
us. That one great thing that brings us our greatest joy when times are good, and the deepest solace in our dark hours. Tonight, I want to talk to you about love.
Love.
I want to talk to you about the deep and abiding love I have for a man I met at a dance many years ago.
Count them, that's one.
And
She
the
says that
profound
about
love
15 times.
I have, and I know we share for this country. I want to talk to you about that love so deep, only a mother can fathom it. The love we have for our children and our children's children.
And your grandma. Your mother and your grandma.
How about the best quote of the night was when she's like, and our real marriage. Oh yeah. Our
They've
real
got
marriage.
a real marriage.
I missed real marriage.
Oh, yeah. No, they have a real marriage. So obviously, there are many people in this country that don't have a real marriage.
I have a real divorce.
Right. But you know what? Of all the mother talk she did, you know who she didn't mention and who I bet is pissed?
Who's that?
Rafalka. Her prancing pony did not even get one mention.
No, we didn't talk about that because it costs too much a year, and she's a woman of the people.
Send in the dancing horses.
My favorite quote from Ann Romney was this super. Oh, this makes me laugh. It was she was getting into this whole our business helps people and we're bringing all these people through. This is the genius of America. Dreams fulfilled, help others launch new dreams. I felt like that was either some sort of Gap ad or like Disney Corporation. I know. Somebody was like, exactly. I want her, like, I just saw like a rainbow and a unicorn like fly behind her head. I'm like, I want to see you
No,
launch
probably
it.
something more celestial than that.
Yeah. I'm sure she doesn't believe in
But see, that's the
unicorns.
thing. We can build it on dreams. That's what they did. Clearly, I mean, they built it on noodles and tuna. We heard that.
Yep, noodles and tuna.
Not about all the stocks, which we talked about last week. All the stocks that she and Mitt from their father, from George, where they were able to sell. So they didn't work. They just went to school and. You know,
a piece I want to what clicked in my head. I was thinking about the whole celestial thing around Mormonism, and Romney's is the great Ohioan Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong passed away, and
the pride of Wapakoneta.
Yeah, the flags in Ohio were flown at half staff.
Right. Absolutely.
I drove by a car dealership yesterday, and their flag was at half staff.
Well, both President Obama and also Mitt Romney, of course, put out their press releases, and it's amazing. And I wish I had it with me right now, but Mitt Romney's press release was really kind of freaky because it actually had this whole kind of spacey, like for Father Moon, and I'm like very tying into the Mormon belief system around the planets, and so it's put in there. So that's what he was inspired to write as the condolence letter.
You gotta say what's in your heart.
Yeah. So
wow. He inhaled.
Okay. So
yeah.
Oh. Well, I saw you were going to pull up that next clip, and so I'm just really excited to see, how much on message the RNC and the GOP were right here. So here, you keep talking. I'll see if I can.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course we have the situation where Fox News is really trying to keep everything contained.
Romney's wife, Ann Romney, on the other hand, looked to me.
What are you doing? That's the one we're playing.
Romney, on the other hand, looked to me like a corporate wife.
Yeah, we were going to play that.
And, the stories she told about struggles, it's hard for me to believe. I mean, she's a very rich woman. And I know that, and America knows that.
Wow, okay.
What does that mean, corporate wife?
What does it mean? It looks like a woman whose husband takes care of her, and she's been very lucky and blessed in this life. She's not speaking, I think, for
I have to say, though, for the amount of kids and grandkids that woman has, she looks great.
Me that, what, I understand the struggles of American women.
Oh, man.
Is that the same speech you heard, Brett?
No,
I'm sure
I think
she has
that was a single
fantastic team.
So, yeah, so I guess there was this big flap over dudes saying, oh, she's a corporate wife.
And we all know Juan Williams. Juan Williams used to work for NPR.
Sure.
He's supposed to be the more moderate Democrat of course, he works for Fox, so we know where that goes. And he, upset not only his Fox cohorts there, but he also upset the Romney campaign. A lot of backlash today that he called her a corporate wife because she is, but
he didn't call her a corporate whore.
We'll call her that.
Does she work?
And Romney's
does she have a
whore.
title?
She's never exactly. Right. She's never collected a paycheck, a salary, wages. And I understand there are many, many working mothers out there.
Right.
Keyword working mothers, I mean, that's fine if she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth. That's fine. Don't try to sell to the American public that you had to live off of tuna and noodles and you were just barely scraping by.
Yeah, this whole basement apartment scenario.
Then you raised 5 sons with the help of, by the way, 5 nannies and maids.
And probably there's 6 houses across the country.
Don't sell that to us.
Right.
Be honest. Just be honest.
Right.
And then we wouldn't care. There's a lot of rich people around here. Not as rich, but that's the thing. It's like there's nothing inherently wrong about rich people. It's just when they're so patronizing
and disconnected from what's really happening. And if you listen to what she was saying last night, it is so disconnected from the average American, and even think that people would buy into that.
Right.
It kills me. I have no problem with rich people either, but I always kind of want to just hit them up for $10.
Oh.
Just be like,
because it's like they got it.
Yeah, I think you have $10 in your wallet. I'm pretty sure you do. And I might want to have it. It's just $10. It's not going to bother you.
Right.
Mac and cheese tonight.
Yeah. Velveeta shells, $10. I'll get
Getting real.
Someone that ate a lot of Velveeta shells in his lifetime is our next person coming up. So here's Ann Love, and peace and motherhood and sisterhood and everything that it is. And then what do we have? The Goomba. So now Governor Goomba gets on and does his thing. Gotta let him go.
And the greatest lesson that Mom ever taught me, though, was this one. She told me there would be times in your life when you have to choose between being loved and being respected. Now, she said to always pick being respected. She told me that love without respect was always fleeting, but that respect could grow into real and lasting love. Now, of course, she was talking about women. But I've learned over time that it applies just as much to leadership. In fact, I think that advice applies to America more than ever today. You see, I believe we have become paralyzed by our desire to be loved. Now, our founding fathers had the wisdom to know that social acceptance and popularity were fleeting, and that this country's principles needed to be rooted in strengths greater than the passions and the emotions of the times. But our leaders today have decided it's more important to be popular, to say and do what's easy, and say yes.
How'd you get elected?
Say no, when no is what is required.
No means no. Remember that.
Okay.
Rape is just another form of conception.
In recent years, we as a country have too often chosen the same path. It's been easy for our leaders to say, not us, not now, in taking on the really tough issues. And unfortunately, we stood silently by and let them get away with it. But tonight, I say enough. Tonight, I say together, let's make a much different choice. Tonight, we are speaking up for ourselves and stepping up. Tonight, we're beginning to do what is right and what is necessary to make America great again.
Who needs love? Love is overrated.
Let him say it. Let him say it.
Why do I feel like he's hiding a meatball sub underneath that podium?
Stop tearing each other down and work together to take action on the big things.
I'm sorry. I'm a fat kid too.
But we're going to do what my mother taught me.
Oh, wait.
We're going to choose respect over love.
There you have it, folks. The discordant messages of the GOP.
Wait a minute. Okay, so we're choosing respect over love.
Right.
Well, now, and think about this.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
But there's a couple things here. So first of all, he totally takes Anne and everything she's just said and says,
takes kind of a poo-poo on it.
Yeah, see you later, ladies.
You're paralyzed.
Yeah.
You're paralyzed by that so-called love.
Yeah, love stuff. Then it gets even more Goomba because it's like respect over love. I mean, that is so Guido that, I want to be respected as a man. This is respect. Don't disrespect me.
Are you related to all of them?
I think I am.
I feel like you are. But,
Not the Jersey ones, the Rhode Island ones,
I was going to bring out a pint of beer.
And you know what I think was most impressive, though, about his speech, that was incredibly impressive, is that I didn't realize that he was going to be the presidential nominee. Because
didn't he already decide he wasn't going to do that?
But he spent what? It was a 20-minute speech, and it wasn't until 17 minutes in that we're like, why are you here? Oh, right. So Mitt Romney, yeah. And then me, my mother, me.
And as a keynote speaker last night, so he finally passes it off to Romney, and Romney's sitting there, which was also a weird thing, because normally in a convention, the politician stands up and waves. But I don't know if anyone noticed, but Romney sat there like they're all applauding for him, not in the political way, but like he did something great. And it was a really weird positioning for me because I've never seen that before where you get the final call out. And usually as a candidate, you stand up. Thank you. Thank you.
You clap along with everyone else because, you're not going to be like a dick about it.
But he sat there like king and everyone's like, yeah, it's very
weird.
It is weird. They are weird.
Well, he's practicing for when he gets his own universe. So you got to remember, this is all a dry run for him.
King Mitt.
From a theatrical standpoint, the whole thing, it was just awkward. Like the setup was awkward. The weird backgrounds were awkward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously there was
All
some things
of the
going on in the
all of the speeches. There was nothing passionate. I mean, I know a lot of people were saying that Ann Romney's speech was very passionate. Of course, I didn't get it, but of course, obviously, I have a huge bias. But it was very patronizing.
Yeah.
And all of the speeches were me, which made it very obvious that people are just like, okay, well, we've got Mitt Romney. We got to work with him. This is what we got.
Well, I want to say a couple things is that, of course, we had the dancers, people dancing around. When you see how they respond, I mean, at one point...
They were so confused.
At one point, yes, they were so confused at times.
Like, do we boo? Do we clap? Wait, what?
So at one point, of course, Santorum's speaking, and people went into pray mode. Like he was...
An orator.
Yeah. Like they were praying with hands up and stuff. And I was like...
Hands?
What? Right.
Dude, how many times?
I know. Hands. He said hands.
Like at least a dozen times.
Hands were woven in through his whole speech.
At least a dozen times. Yeah. It was really... like uncomfortable. Hands, dirty hands, hands grasping hands.
But before we leave this half hour, because I just noticed the time, I do want to talk about a really critical thing was that I thought was a horrible comment and situation. And before everything got going, a reporter, a photographer from CNN. CNN is there, an African-American woman, and someone threw peanuts at her. Two people who were delegates.
Yes.
Who... since then have been said they were not delegates, but they were delegates.
Or otherwise, why would they be in there?
Right. Yeah. Or there's some official capacity. Even if they might not be delegates, they are...
official GOP.
You don't get in there unless you have badges.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. And what did they say?
They said, throw in the peanuts. This is how we feed the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Classy.
So you got to remember. I mean, remember this is post-racial America.
Right.
So, and this is what happens. So
throwing nuts at an African American CNN reporter, camera person, probably just doing her job, and all of a sudden she gets peanuts whipped at her, and they say, "This is what you feed the animals."
This is the moment where you grab Condoleezza Rice for a comment.
Right. Exactly.
Or any of the, token African American, speakers that they had. And I wish I could remember the guy's name who was a former Democrat. They pulled him in. I'll have to look up his name. It's like, and he's flipped. He's now a Republican. He spoke last night early on.
He's African American also.
Yeah. So it's like, where are the comments from, from
by the way,
the proud African American GOP party members?
And I saw an interview with him after the fact, and he really was being held accountable for his switching of parties and what that was. And he had no good answer. It was really tied to him just getting elected. And it was embarrassing because he didn't even know how to respond. Yeah. Some of the stuff made him uncomfortable, but he was there, and now he's this token guy that they stuck up to speak. It was very odd and uncomfortable. A lot of odd and uncomfortable moments last evening.
Oh, that's just weird.
Yeah. Well, we're going to continue this when we come back. We're going to talk about some local political stuff going on. We're going to continue some convention stuff. And, of course, we're going into our LGBTQ half hour. And we are with Brenna MC. And it's Judith Pindell and myself. We'll be back.
Friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com. If you live the lifestyle, then you should arrive in style. Lifestyle Limousine Service. Whether it's dinner for two, an evening at the winery, or a night out on the town, Lifestyle Limousine provides extraordinary service. Check them out on the web. LifestyleLimousineService.com. Reserve your ride now. 330-903-0508. 330-903-0508. Lifestyle Limousine Service. And make sure you tell them Morning Show Central Radio Network sent you. Check out Uncensored Net Noise every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here. Uncensored Net Noise on MorningShowCentral.com. It's been 6 years in the making. 6 years. Uncensored Net Noise's 6th anniversary bash. September 7th at the Foundry in Lakewood. Live on stage will be Morality Check, Kriya Diaz, Demons Within, and the show is hosted by comedian Josh Womack. And they're going to be broadcasting the show live. Tickets at the door are $5 for 21 and over and $8 for under 21. Uncensored Net Noise's 6th annual birthday bash. Live at the Foundry in Lakewood. Brought to you by Cocaine Energy Supplement. All the dirt you need to know is at uncensorednetnoise.com. Cocaine Energy Supplement. Due to great consumer demand, Redux Beverages has officially announced the return of its world-famous Cocaine Energy Supplement. It's now available at retail locations across the country, as well as online at reduxdirect.com. That's reduxdirect.com. Don't forget to be part of the all-new Cocaine Energy Supplement social network, where you can meet other Cocaine Energy Supplement fans from around the world. Cocaine Energy Supplement. You can become a member. By logging on to lovecocaine.com. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right.
Rise above the clutter, brand your identity, and make a statement. Broken Fan Media. Expert video production, television and web commercials, music video, real estate tours, live concerts and events, state-of-the-art post-production, video and audio editing. Check us out on the web at brokenfanmedia.com. 434-944-0472. Broken Fan Media. The next generation of sight and sound.
Call the show toll-free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com. Having problems with your home computer or business PC? Looking to have some upgrade work completed on your computer? Have a special project in mind that may be too much for you to undertake alone? Time to call
Joe the Printer Guy!
Joe the Printer Guy offers a full-service hardware and software repair center at his facility to handle your PC, server, and networking needs. Let their professional service staff handle your computer needs. They offer expert service at an affordable price. Visit Joe the Printer Guy at 14035 Madison Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio. Online, joetheprinterguy.com, or give him a call at 216-651-3880. Joe the Printer Guy. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. What is it? It was hot. It's everything in between with your host, Von Erich. Everything in between. Nothing gets me more excited. Monday nights, right here on MorningShowCentral.com. Project X Show.
Project X Show.
Driven by porn. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. Right here on Morning Show Central Radio Network. Project X Show. Live on MorningShowCentral.com. You're listening to MSC Radio Network, and like anything else on the internet, it runs on computers. Lots of computers. And you know, when you're dealing with computers, hard drives sometimes crash. That happened here at MSC, and you know what saved them? Rectiphy backup software. Don't believe us? Well, ask yourself this question. Are you backed up? Probably not. So don't be that guy and wait till it's too late. MSC did their research and tried tons of different backup programs and chose Rectiphy backup software. You know, peace of mind is priceless, and Rectiphy can give you and your computer system that peace of mind. Find out more at rectiphy.com. That's RECTIPHY.com.
Oh my! What's that?
We're coming, Little Rock. Are you ready? officially announced the launch of Cocaine Energy in Little Rock, Arkansas. Look for it at your local retailer. And if they don't carry it, tell them they need to stock it. Also available online at drinkcocaine.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. The adrenaline rush.
All you need to do is feel it.
The thrill of victory.
Winning is the only option. The only option. The only option.
And all the locker room chatter.
No. Wrong. Game over.
Get high on sports. Every Monday night at 9 p.m. Want to know everything going on with the Browns, the Cavs, the Indians, even the Monsters? These guys know it.
You have the most amazing effect on people.
You know why? They're high on sports. Monday night at 9 p.m.
Then I am in.
On MorningshowCentral.com.
Oh, wow. Language.
Okay, he was PMSing.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
We're back, and welcome back. This is Joust It Out, and I'm your host, G. It is the GOP convention happening this evening and all this week, of course, and we continue to talk about that. In the house, we have Brenna MC, and she's joined us. She's a wonderful friend and great comedian. We love her, and she's
I wore
here.
my American flag underwear just for the occasion.
Oh, next time you're on. And again,
Prove it.
And again, Brenna is going to start coming in as our guest hosts do. And, of course, Robin Our Hearts is still tied to the show. Occasionally, Robin will be back, and we'll just kind of move through. And when they're available, they'll be here with Judith and I. It's kind of our new shtick and plan. You guys like that?
What do they call that? Oh, no, I'm going to lose that. Oh, and I've totally lost my train of thought. Not the New Order.
The New Order. That sounds scary.
That's like
I know, it does sound really scary. Oh
I feel like I should do some kind of military signal or something. This strange salute.
New Order. Well, I like that too. That works.
So when we went on break, we were talking about the camera woman having nuts thrown at her by the GOP
and of all
delegates.
Things,
right.
Like, first of all, what kind of an idiot brings peanuts? Like, seriously,
well,
it's like, is there cotton candy?
well,
Are
think
there
about
hot
it.
dogs?
It's a circus.
But remember, they
They're
stay.
elephants.
No, they stay. Yeah, they stay with theme. Believe me, that's what the peanuts are about. It's all very theme based.
Because those Republicans love a theme party. What?
They love a theme party. They love to pretend that they're not tied to other communities that they are. And
well, and in the meantime, they're still trying to act like they're wooing the women vote. So so they throw peanuts at a woman, and then they're trying to woo the people of color vote. So they throw peanuts at a woman of color.
What better way to say welcome? Be part of our party.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like a war on women with peanuts.
Well, no. See, they were so repressed for the night that they couldn't say that they can't do their normal shtick. They had to just vent by throwing peanuts.
Right. You know what sounds like a great night, guys? We're just gonna get real wasted, go down to the convention, and just throw some legumes. It's gonna be awesome.
Hate crime. But you know what? So, for those of you who are on Twitter,
yes,
you may have seen some of these, but I myself am not on Twitter, so I actually have to go and look for these. But
I actually was on Twitter a lot last night because there were some great tweets. There really were.
Oh, they were. And, so I would imagine that many of you have seen all of these, but these were some of the top retweets, which, I read that most of the retweets last night were not actually from Republicans. So
They were
what
from
a
all of us.
surprise! Surprising surprise. So, the very top retweet of last night was from Bill Maher. Loved Ann Romney's speech, especially the part about how Mitt can't release taxes because her horse ate them. And then Christie ate the horse.
Oh. Horse meat.
And then Rachel Maddow, when I said Rick Santorum might not tell the truth, that thing he just said about waiving the work requirement for welfare, that was it. So if you remember those ads that are out there right now, which have been proven to be absolutely false, that Obama has stripped the work requirement for welfare.
Right.
Totally bogus. But Santorum is still spreading that because he's got nothing better to talk about other than, the assault on marriage and hands upon hands and welfare queens. And then Glenn Howerton, who at first I was like, who is that? He's the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's a cute show.
Yeah. So he's like, here's a fun game. Add except for the gays to the end of most of Rick Santorum's sentences and see how often it applies. So true. And I was thinking that through the entire Ann Romney speech.
Right.
Was, except for the gays, except for the lesbians, except,
her whole speech just felt like this weird, high school pep rally, like she was some sort of weird high school guidance counselor from the 1950s.
And you were saying that she was acting like she was still stuck in high school. And
she kept going over and over again. I met him at a high school dance, and we had a basement apartment where we had tuna noodle casserole off the ironing board coming down off the Murphy wall. And it's like, oh, honey.
Great, nice try.
Man.
So I just got this handed to me, and our friends at WKYC here in Channel 3 had a little glitch that Chris just sent me that this happened.
Breaking news, everyone.
Well, it's not really breaking news, but it's probably going to be controversial somewhat. And the RNC's upset because, or certainly local folks are upset because Russ Mitchell, our local Russ Mitchell, was starting his banter around the opening and the Star Spangled Banner was playing.
Oh.
So people are very upset.
That he spoke
because he
through
talked
the national
through.
anthem?
Yeah, he was talking through it. And of course, immediately Channel 3 did the right thing. They put this out saying that they never meant the disrespect. We apologize for the bad timing. And I just want to say we have a lot of friends in the business, and these things happen. It's computer generated. You just don't, if it's programmed the wrong way, something goes wrong. So it's not poor Russ Mitchell's fault. It
and
certainly was
especially
not.
if it's
Yeah.
a live shot and you don't know
Yeah.
when things are happening and
Right.
you're
There's no
talking
way-
at the camera.
exactly,
so
exactly.
And a lot
I'm
of
sure he
craziness
didn't.
goes on, so it's what it is. But yeah, speaking of local things, our own Ohio's own John Kasich spoke, and people said it was a barn burner. And I do have to say, John Kasich he can speak when he gets into his mode. Of course, there was a lot of lies in his speech, but the interesting piece of it was, and a lot of people noticed this last night, almost all the governors that spoke talked about how their state was being turned around.
Right.
And here in Ohio, where the automobile industry is so critical and was saved by the bailout of this administration,
Right.
it's interesting how, at the same time they're saying the economy's so bad, it's all Obama's fault. And then the governors come in and are like, yeah, no, our state's doing okay. We got jobs going. We're moving things along. Thank God that we're at.
Well, and we talked about that a while, and that's why I was so surprised because remember, the Romney campaign was trying to distance itself from Kasich a while ago when Romney came. Kasich is like, rah, rah, we're doing great in Ohio, and Kasich's campaign was saying, no, everything sucks.
You mean Romney's campaign.
Or,
yeah.
right. Yeah, like everybody has to vote for me because I'm going to be the one to turn it around. It's not turning around yet. And again, it just goes to show, like, who is coordinating these speeches?
Well, they really have no control because at some point these are personalities who Romney needs. Ohio Party needs Kasich to do his magic along with the rest of the Republican Party of this state to steal votes, to play their games, to suppress votes.
Oh my God,
Brenna, I'm sorry.
I really, the more that I watch of it, it really seems like a very everyone for themselves situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like me, you were saying, me, I, my family, my this, my that. It's like,
And this was supposed to be the touchy-feely part that was supposed to make us realize that Mitt Romney was a person and a human being.
Right.
And that absolutely did not come across
there was no passion. Like, it all just seemed very staged and very like inflated. Like,
Well, I think it's a really hard thing when you have moderates in the party who know that their party's been hijacked by the Tea Party and by real right-wingers, and they're forced to let right-wingers play their role, including who the VP pick is, and they don't know what to do with it. So you have the old stars of the party sitting back and saying, "Oh my goodness, this Tea Party really has stolen our party from us. We don't know where to place ourselves. We have to talk about stuff that we're really not comfortable with." It really creates this dynamic that the Republicans aren't used to dealing with. It's almost like a Democratic convention because we're not good at all getting on the same page.
Look at what happened here in Ohio. Representative LaTourette has pulled out here in Ohio because of Tea Party stuff. It's his own party that he's like, you know what, I don't even want to play anymore. It's not, the divisiveness of Dems and Republicans.
It's like one of your favorite stories of this past week is Governor Chris from the state of Florida.
Oh, yeah. So so former Governor Chris of Florida has recently come out of the closet. Just kidding.
He should. He needs to come out. He really does.
He came out in support of Obama.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, of course, the Republicans are going crazy and seething. But then the next day, they reported that he's going to be speaking at the Democratic National Convention, which is pretty exciting. We'll see how that goes.
So he'll be our token. He's our
token Republican.
Our token closeted Republican.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of closeted,
why can't everybody just be themselves? Just be yourselves, friends. It's gonna be okay in the great scheme of things. Somebody's gonna win and somebody's gonna lose, but the only person you really have to answer to is yourself.
I was thinking about suppressed people, and I just want to this story that I had seen this past week or last week, and I don't think we ever talked about it. But this the head of the American Family Association, his name is, and they're getting a lot of money from Chick-fil-A donations. His name is Brian Fisher.
We've talked about him before.
Yep, we have, and we know him from that. His latest thing is that he believes that there should be a new underground railroad, just like Tubman would imagine.
Sure.
And of course, this would be for kidnapping children of gay couples or of same-gender couples, and then getting them
whisking them away to safety.
Whisk them away out of the harm's way of their evil same-gender parents into some other place where they can then deprogram them and make sure that they don't turn out to be gay. Yeah.
Because only gays. Only gays raise gays.
And his organization, again, the American Family Association, is one of the biggest recipients of the Chick-fil-A donations. If we go back a couple
encouraging human trafficking?
Yes.
Is this what's happening right now?
Yeah.
Oh, my. Nobody.
That's amazing.
And he is at the convention.
I'm flabbergasted.
And of course, he's on the convention floor. He's not going to speak, of course, but he's one of those folks that'll be there.
Throwing peanuts.
And eating a chicken sandwich, apparently. Oh, no.
I wonder if there is Chick-fil-A this year. I bet there is. There's Chick-fil-A at that convention.
There's got
They've got their little pop-up store.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they do.
Really?
Free hate chicken for everyone.
So I want to ask you, as a comedian, would you sell out? Now, if they offered you, they said, "Oh my God, we love you, Brenna. You're so funny."
Oh, that's true.
And you have a chance to speak on a national, to entertain our delegates for just a half hour, and we want you to be part of this little synopsis, and we're going to pay you $500,000
to be at the Republican National Convention.
Would you do it?
Absolutely, I would.
Yeah.
I would. And then I would get up there and do exactly the material that I wanted to do until I got booed off the stage and arrested.
Or shot. Remember, they like guns.
Shot out of a cannon, you know.
No, I think shot.
No, if somebody's going to pay you to take a national stage, you do it. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, they can't force you once you're on a microphone to do or say anything because they've given it to you.
Once the contract's signed, do it.
Amen, brother. But yeah, I mean, oh gosh, yeah, $500,000 in a national stage. Sure, I just go up there and make balloon animals. Like you guys are dumb. Who wants a pony balloon? You know.
Why did you have me here?
I know. I have confetti and lollipops for none of you. Ha! These are all for me.
Right. See?
That's right, because you don't believe in sunshine or rainbows or unicorns, and those are the only things that are important to me. Yay!
So, Brenda, let's talk about you a little bit. You know.
Oh.
So, were you born and raised here in Ohio?
I was born in Lancaster, Ohio, which is about 30 minutes southeast of Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived in Columbus until 1990, and then my family and I moved to Lakewood in 1990, and my mom is the pastor of an ELCA Lutheran church, and my dad is also an ELCA minister, and he does interim ministry.
Pastor's children.
Yep.
Look at
this is what happens.
shaking up the world.
And what they say about pastors' kids, absolutely true.
Well, like, the weird thing is, though, like, my mom and dad both are, so I've sort of ended up somewhere near the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like,
interesting.
I'm hilarious and I like to cause trouble, but it's like fun trouble, like blowing bubbles into people's houses, or
glitter bombs.
Glitter bomb.
Glitter bombs.
Oh, glitter bomb. That sounds great. That's what the GOP needs. We just need to set up a giant glitter bomb right in the middle of the convention. That'd be great. But yeah, I went to school at Capital University in Columbus.
Woo, me too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Are you
We're
serious?
like twins.
I know, it's weird.
This is bizarre.
It is really weird. We didn't even know this about each other.
Yeah. I graduated in 2003 after staging a protest against the Iraq War, and I nearly didn't graduate over it.
Really?
What happened was I was in my final semester in winter of 2003, right before the war started, and I was a member of a couple of different groups that wanted to do a protest. And because none of those groups were sanctioned student activities organizations, they charged the security detail to my individual account, but campus security wouldn't cover it. So we had to get the Bexley police, and then they wouldn't do it without going into overtime. So I was charged $487.50 on my individual student account to have a war protest.
Actually, I love
Talk
that.
about free assembly.
I love that.
But yeah, and then in 2004, I went to Second City in Chicago. I'm a trained comedy improviser and
that little
sketch
place,
comic.
Second City for
comedians.
comedians.
You know, where all the Saturday Night Live and all sorts of TV.
And I bet you know all of them.
Oh yeah, we text. No, that's not true. And then I moved back to Cleveland in 2007, and I've been doing the comedy thing for a good long time. I started doing improv in 9th grade.
Oh, wow.
So I've been doing it for...
Did you know since you were little, did you entertain your parents? Did you, were you like the ham that...
Oh, yeah.
Holidays put on your little...
Absolutely. I played an evil priestess in the all-female version of Daniel in the Lion's Den at like age 6. And after that, it's all uphill.
Oh my God. So tell us about your all-female comedy troupe here in Cleveland.
Yeah, we've been doing a troupe together since March 2011. It's called Angry Ladies of Improv. There are 4 of us, and we perform every week as part of the longest running free comedy improv jam in Cleveland Improv Jam. We perform every Tuesday at Mayhall's 20 Lanes in Lakewood. Formerly Sullivan's, formerly Bella Debbie, formerly Bottoms Up, formerly Your Mom's Basement, formerly all the way back to the close of Second City Cleveland, which closed in January of 2004. Oh, wow. So the jam's been in existence for 8 years.
Was that a sister program? Yeah, it was.
It was.
Wow.
I did one show there. I auditioned into a show actually without being a student. I'm that awesome. And I did one show and they closed a month later.
She really brought down the house.
That's right. right. Lit that thing right on fire. But 8 months later, I went out to Chicago, and I was there for a while. And I toured with the Children's Theater Company, teaching kids about respect and responsibility and how to deal with drugs and bullying and harassment and all that kind of stuff. Because, like, I'm really into, like, peer education. I still sort of do that through my own gigglediness, but I think it's important. People just sort of forget, I suppose, to be kind to one another.
Well, and I remember that you talked a little bit at Pride about how you've been, a Sunday school teacher.
Yep, I've been a youth pastor at 3 different churches.
Oh, wow. Boy, you two are really like sisters. I mean,
I know, it's weird.
It's weird how much
I used to teach Sunday school, like Vacation Bible School, every summer. Ugh.
We had actually in Lakewood.
This is creepier than the Romney family.
No, but for years in Lakewood, for 6 years, I taught peace camp, which was based in peace and conflict resolution. And my favorite thing in all of that, and I did this with the theater company as well, is this whole concept of what we call a responsibility tangle, which is, it's great. It's so simple.
We're doing it next week on the
I
show.
know, it's fabulous, but it's the simplest thing. It's what connects between one person and another person, where you take everything that's your responsibility and they take everything that's their responsibility, and then the mixed up noodle that's in between, which is what you have to unravel in order to resolve. And I think that the hugest part of that people miss is going to the person and saying you have a problem.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it kills me. It's like, oh, I'm going to keep it all inside. I'm going to be mad. And
passive aggressive.
We know people like that.
I know, but it goes right back out to this grand scale. If people took the time to say, these are the actual issues that I have a problem with, and that
you know, and
kills
it's so
me.
crazy because I remember when I was a little kid thinking that like adults had all the answers and
Yeah,
they didn't
right?
fight and they did, you know what I mean? That it was only in grade school that this crap happened, and it's oh my God. So that's awesome that you start, so young with them. So what are some of what's the focus? Like, it's like everything. Fair play with the Angry Ladies.
Absolutely.
Or like what's the deal?
Our deal is we do what's called long form improvisation, which is more or less like an improvised play. We take a one-word suggestion and we do a 30-minute improvised presentation.
Santorum.
Nice. Oh, I've only got 30 minutes.
Right.
But we improvise scenes based on one word over the course of a 30-minute set.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So what are the names of some of your fellow comedians?
It's myself and Tracy Coble, Dion Atchison, and Marjorie Preston. And we've been working together for a little over a year and a half now. And actually, the girls, I didn't get to go because I started a new job and I was sad. The girls just went to the Improv Festival in Detroit earlier this month. So, and we performed at Columbus Unscripted last year. We performed last year as part of Cleveland Public Theater's Pandemonium. We periodically perform at Big Dog Theater in Coventry, which is solely a comedy theater. And they do a little bit of this and that, but pretty much all the time it's comedy going on in there. It's owned by Don Mitri and Jeff Blanchard. It's a really fun place to be. And I love that our show is free. I love it. It's fantastic.
Do you have a website
for the people
that people can go to?
We do. It's on Facebook.
That's okay.
But it's facebook.com/Angry Ladies of Improv and also facebook.com/Cleveland Improv Jam.
And we will put the link on our
links of the round table.
Links of the round table. We link them.
And can we get a photo of you in your garb, maybe? And we'll put that up there as the link.
Oh my gosh!
I would love to.
If I have a picture
you have
of
to send
myself,
that.
I have to check and see if I've got one. But I'd be more than willing to share my
Ren
my
Fair.
Ren Fair secrets.
Time is running out, so I have to give some other links, and then we're going to play out our going out video. Of course, we have, our good friend, Senator Michael Skindle, who is a wonderful guy from the west side of Cleveland.
So excited. I get to see him in a couple weeks.
All of our issues. The man is awesome.
Yes.
He got the nod, and he is running from Ohio Supreme Court.
Oh, that's great.
And we want to give him, dollars, support, anything you can do. Go to MikeSkindle.com. and donate there, and certainly track him down. He is running all over the state, meeting everyone, and we wish him the best on his battle for that seat. And of course, the Ohio Supreme Court is so difficult for Democrats to get into, and it's such a battle. So we certainly wish him well on that battle. The other thing that I wanted to say is that one of our favorite charities is the AIDS Task Force Greater Cleveland, and they are doing events called Feast and Frolic, and you can go to the AIDSTaskForce.org site and buy tickets for those events. Those are happening right now, and we are going to play our going out music today, folks. It's not a real video; it's just an image, and then it's us and music.
It's gonna be us dancing. So get on the dance floor, Brenna.
All right.
All right.
Democrat. Nice. Every election he would vote like that. He never missed one debate. Lived all his life in a battleground state. It feels like a long time since he took down his Hillary Clinton yard sign. But then he sure was surprised when a Herman Cain ad somehow caught his eye. Presidential picks and political kicks, we're getting in the habit of filling up the ballot. Presidential picks and political kicks, Bachman or Rick Perry, Huntsman or Mitt Romney. Politics is Danny's game. He can spell every governor and senator's name. His friends are in disbelief since Danny started checking out the GOP. My buddy found him in Des Moines, eating corn dogs at a Romney rally. His bumper sticker says it all. In 2012, I support Ron Paul. Presidential picks and political kicks, we're getting in the habit of filling out the ballot. Presidential picks and political kicks, Bachman or Rick Perry, Huntsman or Mitt Romney. Danny likes to share his views. He tweets and he blogs and keeps up with the news. He even has a Facebook page. A political junkie and a digital age. We heard he had quite a hoot, knocking on doors in New Hampshire for Newt. But now he wears a sweater vest, supports Santorum, and he says he's the